stay very much here at Windsor Castle with reflections, with people who knew the Duke of Edinburgh. With me here in the drizzle at the castle, welcome, is Dr. David Staples, who is the Chief Executive of the United Grand Lodge of England.
Thank you very much for having me.
And, well, we are talking, of course, about Freemasons, and I think a lot of people who are watching might not know that the Duke of Edinburgh had any connection, but you can explain it.
He was indeed. I think the first thing to say is that certainly as a younger man, he had an enormous amount of fun with his Freemasonry. He was brought into the Navy Lodge in 1952 by his father-in-law, King George VI. And of course it's a great thing about our organisation that you don't care if you're a king or a duke or even the son of a forklift truck driver like me. You can come in, you have an enormous amount of fun, and it teaches you to be a better person. And if we think about what he would have actually been doing within that lodge, he went through exactly the same ceremonies that I went through and that other Freemasons the world over have gone through. The first one teaches you the importance of how to respect other people, how it's important to think on those who are less fortunate than yourselves and to bear them in mind. And when we think about the work that he did for charity and the hundreds of organisations that he himself supported actively, I think there's a wonderful synergy there. And the second degree ceremony teaches you the importance of improving yourself through education. And you look at his Duke of Edinburgh's awards and the tens of thousands of young people who have been buoyed up by that, who've gained in self-confidence by that, who have grown into bigger, better people by that. It's again, an enormous synergy between the values that were so clear to him and so important to us.
And is it something that he came to because he actively sought that out? It's something he wanted to join? Is it something that came from his time in the Navy? Where did that inclination to be part of that come from, do you think?
I imagine his father-in-law tapped him on the shoulder and said, this is something that you should be doing. It's a good thing to do. And the final lesson that you learn in Freemasonry, which I think is very pertinent indeed, make the most of your one life. That we have a wonderful phrase in our ceremonies, which is live respected and die regretted. And I think anybody that knew him would realise that he certainly managed that.
And what a wonderfully long life, 99 years, richly lived. Are there stories of his time there? I ask that because I've spoken to so many people today who've reflected on his great knowledge and his great interest in things and his great interest in people when he met them, but also a sense of fun, actually, that perhaps didn't always get seen in general public. Are there stories that touch on that?
I think that's right. I mean, it's interesting to note that he went through his 3 degrees, but he never progressed further within our organisation. I think he saw it very much as a release. When he was within the lodge room, he was there with friends, he could enjoy himself, he could relax. And I think that's true of anybody.
Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you. All the best to you. Dr. David Staples, CEO of the United Grand Lodge of England. Very many thanks for your time this afternoon. Well, Prince Philip, on occasion, allowed television